again. Let's try this again, baby. Ain't gonna stop the work. Volume up. Ain't gonna stop the work. What's popping? What's popping? What's popping, my boy? My boy right there. That's my boy. What's popping? What's popping? What's popping? What's popping? What's popping, Nashville? Hey, if y'all can hear me, put an 8 in chat. If you can see the screen, put an 8 in the chat. My Wi-Fi, ain't it crazy? As soon as I go live, my Wi-Fi started tripping. I don't know, bro. If you can hear me, put an 8 in the chat. You can see the screen, put an 8 in the chat. And, I'm back to it, man. I told y'all I'm back to it. Every single day we going live. No, not going live every day. We dropping videos or we going live. Cool, cool. Appreciate y'all, man. Let's get to this shit, man. Now I want to show y'all how everybody can talk about they could talk about what's going on in the black community. But notice online, what's popping, Malachi? What's popping, Honeybee? What's popping, my people? I want y'all to see something though. They could talk about what's going on in the black community all day, but you don't see no raccoons talking about this. They acting like this never happened. All throughout the year, we've been seeing shootings on campus. HBCUs, they don't know who did it. All these colleges, high schools, middle schools, it's been shootings on campus. And raccoons online, they act like they don't see it. They act like they don't see it. But they can talk about black issues all day to get some views. But when it comes to this real shit, everybody blind. Everybody blind. Tell me, what's popping, my people? We back with it. We back with it, man. We back with content daily. We back with it. Peace to the chat. Let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. And look, I hate when this shit happens. I don't care if you black, white, Mexican, I don't care. I don't care what race you are. I hate when someone goes on campus and they unalive innocent people. I hate that. And we all know who really be doing this shit. They can talk about black men all day. They can talk about black women all day. But we know who the real terrorists are in this country. We know who they are. We know who the real terrorists are in this country. They harm their own people, bro. They don't give a damn. You know? Shout out to Malachi, man. Always supporting. Greetings from Baltimore, Maryland, brother. Appreciate you, man. You always supporting, dog. Hope you safe on that road. You know. What's up? I'm from Providence, Rhode Island. My kids eat prayer. Man, look. Share. Let me tell you something. I drove trucks for 10 years, and I can't cap. Rhode Island, Providence, bro. Rhode Island is beautiful as hell, bro. It's beautiful as hell. But when you go up, see, we all know who the shooter is. You don't have to say it. You don't have to say it. We all know who the shooter is. So you telling me, never mind. We'll get into that later on. Let's get into it, man.
And right now, we have major development in the Brown University deadly shooting. This morning, police still don't know where the gunman is. Overnight, investigators announced that they were releasing a previous person of interest in the case after the evidence pointed in a different direction. Jared Hill has more.
A new twist in the investigation into Saturday's deadly shooting at Brown University. Late Sunday, authorities announced the person of interest they had to take was released.
Certainly, there was some degree of evidence that pointed to this individual, but that evidence needed to be corroborated.
What's popping, my G?
That evidence now points in a different direction.
Police say they're still searching for whoever is in this video.
Now look. I want to ask y'all something. They say there's no evidence, nothing. I want to ask y'all something. Why, when it always is a Caucasian shooter, it's no evidence? So I did my research, bro. I did my research on how many cameras there are on that campus and around that campus. Hold on. I did my research, dog. 1 second. It's 12. Look, it's 1,200 to 2,000 cameras on Brown University campus, bro. 1,200 to 2,000 cameras, and that's just the minimum in that area. And they telling us that they can't find anything, but in the projects, in the hoods, or whatever, when black people commit crimes, they know who exactly did it. They know where to go to. They know who to talk to. They got all the evidence. The Julio Fulio case. They went to Florida and they followed them step by step by step by step. They even, bro, they even got the evidence on the Tesla cars, bro, to convict them of murder, bro. When Julio Fulio died, the rapper from Florida, they went step by step by step. They had all type of cameras. So you telling me on a college campus that you don't have no camera footage of the person taking off the mask, like all type of stuff. These the games they play when it's their people committing these crimes. But they don't want to talk about it. They always want to say, oh, black men, black women, this, the black violence, the black on black crime. But all this year alone, every week has been a mass shooting, bro. Every week has been a mass shooting. Tell me I'm lying. Shit crazy, man. Oh my God, Fortnite. It's crazy. They be lying. Yeah. Step by step. Exactly. But ironically, you telling me in Rhode Island, bro. Come on, bro. All the money Rhode Island have, all those cameras in Providence, bro. I drove trucks down there before, bro. It's cameras everywhere. And you telling me your career is a you telling me your career is to be an investigator, a cop, whatever, and you telling me that you don't know where the car went with all those cameras? It's 2000, bro. Hold on, it's 2025. It's 2025. You can follow a car step by step by step. They telling us this how dumb they think we are. They telling us they don't know where the car went. They don't know where the shooter is. They're crazy, man.
A person
B1, what's
wearing all
popping?
black, calmly walking away.
Exactly.
We're going to work extremely hard to bring that person that's responsible for these acts to justice.
The deadly shooting happened Saturday afternoon. Chaos after authorities say the shooter fired dozens of rounds inside a university building during a final exam review session.
We just heard like 5 shots ring out, and we didn't really know what it was at first. We like got out of our seats when we heard a stampede run by, and then some kids went to check the hallway, and no one was there. So we ran outside.
In this video, you see police rushing into a library where students had sheltered in place. Brown University freshman Kamari Mans says his roommate was one of the 2 people killed in the attack. 9 others injured.
Brown's grieving. I'm grieving. The loss of him will be felt throughout the community.
Sunday night.
Somebody said cell phone tower. Exactly. But they have no issue of catching a black man when they commit crimes. They going, especially in New York, bro. Come to New York, and you will see. They even have this on the news, dog. They have on the news when they making like a documentary of this shit. They would get ready like 4 or 5 in the morning to go to the projects to arrest gang members, bro. That's what they do, and like they making like a documentary of it to arrest gang members. But when it comes to these people, oh, they don't have any proof. They don't have any evidence. What you mean you don't have any evidence? What you mean? All these cameras in 2025. You got all these cameras, bro, and there's no evidence. It's been what, 3 days? Shit crazy, man. Shit crazy, bro. But I know what they do. See, when it's their people committing the crimes, they wait a few days till they announce who the shooter is. So you're not gonna care. So around Thursday, I'm gonna say Thursday, Friday, they go announce who the shooter was. Probably Wednesday, they go announce who the shooter was. You won't care anymore. You go just move on with life. It's gonna be another Caucasian male, bro. Cause ain't no black dude going to Rhode Island, Providence, and shooting up no college, bro. That's not happening, bro. If you live in Rhode Island, Providence, tell me I'm lying. That's not happening. Ain't singing, no singing.
Justice.
Police in Providence say that they followed an
They can look up tag number. Exactly. Exactly, Delta Roost, and what's popping?
Police are urging the Brown University community to remain vigilant as they turn the shooting case back into a manhunt. Brian Yes joins us live with the very latest. Brian. Good morning. A stunning turn of events last night when Rhode Island's Attorney General Peter Neronha announced that they had detained the wrong guy, and the gunman that they're looking for is still on the loose. The man that is responsible for shooting and killing 2 students and wounding 9 others at the engineering and physics building behind me here on campus. Now, police are admitting that the person of interest that they have now released is not the person in this video that's been seen all around the world, showing a person leaving the scene of the shooting on Saturday afternoon. The AG said while there was some evidence that justified detaining this person, recent evidence and lab testing from the scene is pointing them in a different direction. Providence's mayor, Brett Smiley, says even though the murderer is still on the loose, they are not reinstating a shelter-in-place order that was lifted just before 6 a.m. yesterday.
Now, I want y'all to connect the dots, bro. All this year, I've been covering what's been going on these university campus. So in Alabama, I think it was Alabama, Mississippi, which one? I think it was in Alabama when the dude was, they found his body hanging from a pole or something. All these colleges, dog, they always reopen the schools right after. They say it's not an emergency. How is it? How is it not an emergency and somebody just got shot? 2 people just got killed. They don't give a damn about students that go to these schools, bro. Look, if I have a daughter or a son that's in college, bro, I will be worried. Even in high school, even in elementary school, I will be worried, bro. Every day, these people, every day. And when I say these people, you already know who I'm talking about because for the most part, bro, black people, a black person is not walking into a school and unaliving people, bro. They just not doing that. But this keeps happening over and over and over, and they just keep moving on. And all they want to talk about, even when they talking about the immigrants and stuff, I'm like, look, y'all talking about black people and the immigrants. The real problem, we know who the real people who are creating these problems are, bro. We know who they are. We know who the real terrorists are. Every weekend is a mass shooting. Whether it's a church, every time you open your app, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, what you see? Yeah, you're gonna see some black on black crime here and there. You're gonna see that. But for the most part, every weekend, you got a truck driving into a church, a bomb. You got a truck driving into a store, murdering multiple people, a bomb. Every week, bruh. So who the real issue? Like, who are the real issue? Who the real issue? They can talk about black people. They can talk about immigrants. But who is the real issue, bro? Every week. Every week. If I'm lying in my comment section, tell me I'm lying. Facts. Man, traumatizing. Yeah, bro. This been going, bro. If you go down my channel, I'm talking about my lives, my videos. I've been covering this every week, bro. Every week it's been the same thing over and over. Every week. Every week it's a mass shooting. Sometimes you get tired of covering this shit because it's imagine sending your kids to school, bro, and they don't come home. And just imagine these kids, they was taking their last exam, getting ready to go home for the holidays, and they get murdered. They get shot. But you telling us the problem in this country is black Americans. They telling us the problem in this country is black Americans. They got the whole world thinking that we are the issue. When every week they murdering mass groups of people. Even their own people, they don't care who they murder. It could be their own people. They don't give a damn. But they want to tell you about black on black crime. When every week it's a mass shooting. These people walk into churches, bro. How you walk into a church and just murder innocent people? But got the nerve to say black Americans are the demons. Shit crazy, man. Have the constant facts. They say he was yelling Matt. Shit crazy, man. Shit crazy, bro.
And are now instead increasing the police presence.
We will be releasing the person of interest who has been detained earlier today. I know that this is likely to cause fresh anxiety for our community. And we want to reiterate what we said earlier, which remains true, which is ever since the initial call, now a day and a half ago, we have not received any credible or specific threats to the Providence community.
The chief of police here in Providence says a tip led them to the now released person of interest, reportedly a 24-year-old man from Wisconsin. The FBI helped locate him at a hotel 20 miles south of Brown University in Coventry, Rhode Island, where he was detained on Sunday morning. Investigators also admit this video of the person of interest is the best video they have of the potential.
Listen to what he just said. Hold on. Now remember, this is not 1999. This is not 2000. This is 2025 when you got 18 wheelers driving themselves. When you got cars that's driving themselves. You got self-driving cars picking up people. You got robots. This is 2025. Listen to what dude just said, bro. Listen.
The now released person of interest, reportedly a 24-year-old man from Wisconsin. The FBI helped locate him at a hotel 20 miles south of Brown University in Coventry, Rhode Island, where he was detained on Sunday morning. Investigators also admit this video of the person of interest is the best video they have of the potential gunman. They don't have video of the gunman's face. The AG says there was not a lot of cameras inside the engineering building where the shooting took place because it's an old building. Meanwhile, the community here.
You see that? You see the excuse they give you? It's an old building. Come to New York. All of these buildings in New York are old as hell. Old as hell. But when that Luigi dude shot that CEO, they had cameras on cameras on cameras. What you mean a building got nothing to do with a camera? You telling me that's the only video they have of this person in 2025? Make that make sense. This is not 1990. This is 2025 where you got cameras on stop signs. You got cameras on cars. You got cameras everywhere. And you telling me that's the only footage they have, bro. I promise you, it's footage of him getting out of the car, doing what he did, getting back in the car, and it's every step of the way. I promise you, if it was a black dude, and you could say, "Oh, that's all he talk." No, it's true. This country was built off racism. It's gonna always be racism. Always, because it was built off racism. Trust me, it's cameras of him getting out the car, doing what he did, getting back in the car, leaving. It's step by step. But why they not showing us that? They telling us on a college campus where these schools make billions of dollars that's the only footage they have because the building is old. What the building being old have to do with a camera? This shit crazy, bro. This shit crazy, dog. The news report the campus had 800. See? Thank you for that. 800 cameras. You telling me a campus got 800 cameras and that's the only. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Facts. His parents probably give funding to Brown University and they're probably all part of the same. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. But that's the cold part. When they come knocking in the morning in the hood, when they go to the projects, they don't need no proof. If you in a gang, if you was near that shit, you getting the same sentence they get. So why every time a mass shooting happen, they always catch the wrong person? Just when what his name was, Charlie Kirk, when he got popped, what happened with the old dude that was causing the scene? They caught somebody, then they released him. It's always they always catching somebody and releasing them. But when they come to us, when they got you, they got you. You gotta go to court to prove your innocence. If I'm lying, tell me I'm lying. You gotta go to court to defend yourself. And if you don't have the money to defend yourself, guess what? You getting railroaded. You getting railroaded. Ain't no catching you and releasing you. If you look like the suspect, if you black and look like the suspect, you gotta fight for that. You gotta fight for your freedom. I'm telling you. But they can catch them. They can catch them and release them like it was nothing. And later find out that was the shooter. I'm telling you, bro. Don't be shocked if the person they released was actually the shooter. Don't be shocked, dog. Shit crazy, man.
Holding a vigil for the 2 students killed and 9 others wounded in Saturday's shooting.
Alma mater. We really know what that.
This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org. I'm Amy Goodman. A manhunt's continuing in Rhode Island after
I think they had a video they are making no one else post video. Exactly.
A person of interest had been detained but was released last night. In a statement on Sunday night, Brown officials said, quote, local police have advised they do not believe there's any immediate threat to Brown or the local community, unquote. The shooting occurred on Saturday shortly after 4 p.m. when a masked gunman opened fire inside a lecture hall filled with about 60 students. The campus was placed on lockdown as a manhunt began. 12 hours later, a suspect was detained.
Now let's talk about this. Imagine taking your last exam in school and you about to go home to your family for the holidays for 2 weeks. You about to go home, see your family. But I think this happened what on a Friday night, Thursday night? I think Friday. So somebody comes in shooting, bro, and they tell your family, "Oh, we don't have no evidence. We don't have no video." You think I'm sending my child back to that school? Hell no. And if I'm not mistaken, about 2 months ago or a month ago, didn't somebody? I think it was Providence. It was in Rhode Island or Massachusetts. A dude walked into a country club and he shot up the country club or something like that. I think it was Rhode Island. I don't know. I could be mistaken. But imagine that. Imagine losing your kid. And I know we all don't celebrate holidays and stuff like that, but holidays is really for families to be together. So imagine losing your kid like that, bro. And they tell you with 800 cameras on campus, they tell you in 2025 that that's the only angle they have. And they caught somebody and released them. I promise you, that person they caught, I'm not saying he did it or whatever, but when have you ever heard of them catching a black person and just releasing them? No. You gotta prove your innocence. You could be innocent as hell. You could be innocent as hell, but you gotta prove your innocence. They're not releasing you. Matter of fact, they gonna catch you because they have a quota to fulfill, and they just want to say they caught somebody to make the family feel safe. They've been doing that shit. So this whole year, bro, they've been catching people and releasing them. Getting Caucasian people, catching them, releasing them. They don't do that shit with us. They don't do that. If you in a gang, if they think you in a gang, they come and get all y'all. And if your family ain't got no money, if your family ain't got no connections, guess what? You got railroaded. The cameras all over the place, cell phone. Exactly. New Hampshire. Okay, yeah. Thank you for that, Craig. They say he had a 9mm. The black kid that was in the room when he came in said he had a big ass gun. Damn. See? This will get worse in America. Oh yeah, man, this year. Sandy Hook, I'm not trying to get sued, but news helicopter did catch a tail Viking looking Caucasian male running from the back of the school. Not my words. Look it up. Hey, I believe you. I believe you. The person they caught came from Wisconsin, had 2 handguns on him, and they tracked him there. What the? Come on, bro. That's what I'm saying. And this the cold part. He was in the hotel. I don't know what fits the description. A Caucasian male from Wisconsin with handguns in a hotel. If that don't fit the description, bro, what the hell are we doing? Shit crazy, bro. And I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm just laughing at the audacity, bro. All this year, you can look on my channel. All this year, bro, we've been having these shootings on campuses, these shootings on churches, and every single time, I promise you, every single time, it's the same thing. It's a few days they can't even catch the person, and 3, 4 days later, it never fails. 100% of the time, it's a Caucasian male. But they out here, and I'm not taking up for nobody, but they out here snatching up immigrants from work. They out here sending black men to jail. They out here harassing black women, doing all this stuff. Had Charlie Kirk going on campus, telling everybody black families are, going down, all type of shit about black people. But all throughout this year alone, bruh, what have we been seeing? Caucasian people, white on white crime, bruh. If I'm lying, tell me I'm lying. Shit crazy, man.
Detained near the Providence airport in a hotel.
See?
According to the Gun Violence Archive, there have been 391.
Listen.
In a statement on Sunday night, Brown officials said, quote, local police have advised they do not believe there's any immediate threat to Brown or the local community, unquote. The shooting occurred on Saturday shortly after 4 p.m. when a masked gunman opened fire inside a lecture hall filled with about 60 students. The campus was placed on lockdown as a manhunt began. 12 hours later, a suspect was detained near the Providence airport in a hotel. According to the Gun Violence Archive, there have been 391 mass shootings this year, including at least...
Let's break this down again. You telling me someone drove from Wisconsin with handguns to spend a night in a hotel? Y'all, what was the reason he was, the suspect? Why did they arrest him in the first place? But why are you driving to Rhode Island with handguns and staying in a hotel? Was he going hunting for people? Shit crazy, man. Black people also built, trust me, all up through the Shell, Brown University, in Connecticut, Harvard, Yale. We built all them colleges, man. All them Ivy League schools. We built all that.
75 school shootings. This is Edward Wu, a junior at Brown.
Hold on, what she said?
Hours later, a suspect was detained near the Providence airport in a hotel. According to the Gun Violence Archive, there have been 391 mass shootings this year, including at least 75 school shootings. This is
Did you hear that? 391 mass shootings this year. 391. Now, when you get the time, because I haven't did it, I want you to go do your research and see what group, what race of people caused most of that. Go do your research. Everybody know. Hell, you don't have to speak English to know. 391. 70 of them being school shootings, bro. In 1 year, bro. And they trying to tell us that this country is the best country in the world. And, bro, how? You got Caucasian dudes running into churches, killing people. You got Caucasian dudes running into schools, murdering people. And, think about that shit. Why take our children? Shit crazy, man. Boston 3 a.m. is just 12 hours later. Dude, exactly. Dude drove from Wisconsin all the way to Providence to Rhode Island with handguns to stay in a hotel. Think about that. Think about that. How does someone get mad at people that aren't? I'm telling you. So online, you're not gonna see the hard. I call them. Louisiana, we got hog head cheese. I call them the hog head twins. I don't say the Hodge twins. I say the hog head cheese twins. You gonna see these raccoons talking about stuff like this. They gonna talk about what's going on in the black community to get their views up. But they'll never talk about this real shit. 391 mass shootings in this country, bro, in 1 year. Crazy.
Woo, Junior Brown.
I think absolutely this is a huge wake-up call for everybody that, has been affected, and
Wow.
just everybody in the country in general. This is a huge issue. This is so tragic that we're seeing these events happen over and over again. And so I think something definitely needs to be done. What that may be, I think, is something to figure out. It's obviously a very difficult situation. I really hope that we can figure something out.
So, hold on. So think about this. They always talking about don't go to the hood. Don't go to that area of town because it's black people. Bro, honestly, this year, going around too many Caucasian people, you might not want to do that. You might not want to do that because this year showed you that it's no such thing as safety. Like, it's no such thing as because this the suburbs is safer than the hood. No, this year showed you that. I'm telling you. This year showed you that it don't matter, bruh. But if you're really looking at it, something likable to happen to you at a all occasion event, bruh. If you're really looking at an all Caucasian event, you should think you a slave, like safe. You're not. These kids was going home to celebrate, not celebrate, but they was going home to be with their families. And look at this. Flowers, bruh. And this shit going on every week. Every week, bruh. And you telling me you can't find him? And somebody said it. He said, that's a wealthy neighborhood, old money, plenty of cameras. Nowhere in hell they don't have better camera. Thank you. Thank you. But see, they don't want to look a certain way by putting their own people on Front Street. They want you to call out as a black person, call out black people. They don't call out they people. Or they wait days. Oh, this was the shooter. Yeah, we all knew he was Caucasian. We all knew. What are you talking about? Pat Wood located Kalamazoo, Michigan. Yeah. Somebody on the police force, I heard that all the agencies were fighting and arguing with each other over power struggle. Exactly. So while y'all think that these people are just perfect, they got a nice house, they just living, and we get the backlash online. We get it on Front Street, but behind closed doors, they hate each other, bro. They tell you about black on black crime, but behind closed doors, that's some real. If you ever lived around, like if you live in the Caucasian community and stuff like that, bro, they have no room to call people ghetto. The shit they do with money or without money is real ghetto shit. Real ghetto shit. Next level ghetto shit. Especially in 2025 because everybody on drugs, so it is what it is. But if you ever lived around them, bro, it's real ghetto shit. So when this happened, I can see those cops fussing with each other. I can see them arguing with each other because they don't give a damn about what happened to those kids. They don't give a damn. They want to talk about who with MAGA. They want to talk about who blue, who red. Dumb shit. They talking about dumb shit, and they people getting murdered. Who's blue? Who's red? Who's Republican? Shut the fuck up. People getting popped. What are you talking about? But they so dumb, bro. That money, the big homes, bro. That shit does not substitute for them being dumb. It don't, bro. But now it's catching up because the younger Caucasian men in their community, they don't give a damn about their rules. They don't care about politics. They don't give a damn about that shit. So it's a lot of white on white crime, but nobody talking about it. But me, we gonna talk about it.
Two students at Brown.
Hold on, read our comments. If he were black, we would see a picture. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. ASAP. Matter of fact, you will have a picture of him, his family, his dog, his middle school teacher. You gonna have a picture of everybody in his family, not just him, if he was black. The whites do the worst and the most. Me and my sister argue about it. Man, they do the man. Look, I'm telling you, if you look, that's all I'm gonna say. If you know, you know. That's all I'm gonna say. Hey, from Russia. Hey, shout out to you. The ATF and the police and the fire department was having power struggles. Oh yeah, I believe that. I believe that. They call their hatred toward each other pranks, or they just, man, it's crazy. Here we go again. You already know. Behind closed doors, they work together. See, hold on. Manual. I like that you said that. That's one thing that he's right on. Hold on, third camera. That's one thing. No matter what, they stick together. Right or wrong, they stay on code. Right or wrong, they stay on code. So you know how they tell black people, uh, snitch, just snitch. But guess what? When the cops murder an innocent black man, you think they snitching? When the cops murder, like I say, they murder an innocent black man, or when these hospitals murder black women while they're in labor, you think these doctors are going to tell on that doctor? Hell no. They not. They were flying around in circles for hours. I was like, what the fuck? They waste. I'm telling you, bro. Shit crazy, man. See something. It's crazy, man. But I'm tired of it, bro. I'm tired of these Caucasian dudes going on campus or going to these churches and unaliving innocent people. But you look online, you would think the problem is black people. They have you thinking black people are the issue. But in this country, we seen it country, but they hate talking about it. They hate talking about it. It's crazy, man.
Had survived school shootings. This is 20-year-old Zoe Weissman. In 2018, she was in the middle school next to Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, where a former student opened fire, killing 17 students in Parkland, Florida.
You know, I have friends who survived the shooting in Oxford High School in Michigan, and then went on to Michigan State University and then survived the shooting there. So I already knew this.
Listen to this shit, bro. Did you just hear this shit? These Caucasian kids be going to college to duck bullets. But they telling you about the hood. They going to college to duck bullets. Listen to this shit, man. Listen to this shit. You gotta listen.
Student opened fire, killing 17 students in Parkland, Florida.
You know, I have friends who survived the shooting in Oxford High School in Michigan, and then went on to Michigan State University and then survived the shooting there. So I already knew that this was something that could happen. But again, you always have this naive belief that, like, oh, well, it won't happen to me. And obviously it has. And now there's more kids like myself who have been through 2 school shootings. And I think that's kind of just representative of the situation that.
Think about that. They telling you that these Caucasian people are better than you. But they've been going through 2, 3 school shootings their whole life. Their whole life. They told them go to college. You go to college, life is going to be great. Your life, everything. A lot of them come from money, and they still shooting up schools. A lot of these school shooters have 2 parents, and they still shooting up schools. But they want to sit there and tell you, oh, single black mothers are the issue. Oh, black fathers not taking. But these school shooters come from 2-parent households. They go to private schools. They get everything they want. And they still murder innocent people. I want you tonight, after this live, I want y'all to go do your research on all the school shooters. And most of them came from 2-parent households. Most of them came from money. Most of them went to private schools. Everything they tell you as a black person you should have. And these people still shooting up schools. You don't see the son of a single mother shooting a black kid shooting up colleges, shooting up high schools. And for the most part, they're not in the streets. See, they feed that shit to a lot of people because they want you to think every black man that has a single mother is a King Von. Bro, that's not the issue, bro. That's a small pocket of black men, bro. That's a small pocket. They gonna tell you that, but they ain't gonna tell you the successful ones. They ain't gonna tell you that. But these Caucasian kids coming from 2-parent households with money, parents with great jobs, in church, great education, and still causing havoc, still murdering innocent people. Think about that shit. Why they telling you how you should live, what you should have at 32, you should have this, you should have that. But these Caucasian kids, they got it all and still wasting all that shit. Shit crazy, bro. If I'm lying, tell me I'm lying in my comment section. If I'm lying, tell me I'm lying, dog. Shit crazy, son. Little Timmy blew a gasket after they took his allowance. Exactly. Bro, hold on. Another thing. I don't know if y'all noticed this, but I've been seeing this while I've been on my little break off of YouTube. A lot of Caucasian men are murdering their parents. Have y'all been seeing that? Just like 2 weeks ago or a week ago, out there in Long Island, the dude parents was like, I don't know, like in their 90s. And he walked in the diner. I think he stabbed her to death or shot her, one of them. Murdered both his parents. Just in California yesterday, the director, the Hollywood director, his son murdered both his parents. Bruh, this been going on like every other day I've been seeing this, bruh. I don't know if y'all notice it, but I've been sitting back. I haven't been doing content for real. I've been working on my photography business, but I've been sitting back just looking. And I noticed a lot of these Caucasian men are murdering their parents. Go do your research. If I'm tripping, tell me I'm tripping. Go do your research. I've been paying attention. I told you I'm back with the content, but while I've been, off doing my business and stuff, I've been paying attention. A lot of Caucasian men are murdering their parents. I don't know if y'all notice or not. I don't know. Why should you be surprised? They worship, promote, glamorize, and glorify gangsters, murderers, robbers, racists. Facts. That's a fact. That's a fact. I can't even cap. That's a fact. That's a fact. They glamorized it. You facts. They doing it to their baby mamas too. Man, oh facts. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Not just the mother of their kids. They taking out, and this been happening lately too. Who said that? Pathfinder Green. That's crazy. My first car was a Nissan Pathfinder. But they taking out the whole family. This going on every day. I don't know if y'all see it on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Caucasian men taking out the whole family. Every day you turn on your app, whatever app you on, Facebook, it's a Caucasian father that murdered the whole family. And they look like, if you look at the pictures, they look happy. They look happy. But he murdered the whole family. But they got time to sit on the internet and tell you about single black mothers. They got time to sit while single black mothers going. Think about this. The game's so cold, bro. It's like levels to this shit, bro. It's like a domino effect. You got single black mothers going to college with 3 kids. You know how hard it is to take care of one kid? They got 3 kids, was going back to college. So now they gonna tell you that, oh, your college degree don't matter no more. It don't matter. Shit crazy. But it's all a part of the game. Every time they see us making progress, they gotta shut some shit down. Even with black men, bro, like I told y'all, the rapping shit, that's a small group of black men, bro. Most black men are going to work. Most black men are taking care of themselves. Most black men are fighting hard to, get things in their life done. They not in the streets. That's a small group of black men. So what they gonna do? On TikTok, you go on TikTok, you gonna see nothing but content of black women that hate black men and vice versa. They go they go push that content. So if you a TikToker, I'm gonna tell you how the game work, bro. If you on TikTok, the only way for you as a black person to really make some money, bro, on TikTok, bro, is if you cause division. That's the only real way. See, Caucasian people, they can do stupid shit and make money. They can act like they black and make money. But you as a black person, you gotta really earn your shit. You gotta really like dissect the whole game to earn your shit. They could just come on screen and rap a P. Diddy song, act like they black cosplay and make money. But if you really want to make money, they gonna push the content of you talking down on black men. They gonna push the content of you talking down on black women. They gonna push that content. You gonna be popping. You like Vince Carter. That's funny as hell. The amount of women doing the minuscule compared to males. These males, man, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Yeah, like our people to act a fool. You right? Yeah, they. Come on, bro. See, y'all saying the real shit. See, the real way to see if I came to the internet, if I came to YouTube and I did skits, make y'all laugh, did goofy shit, I'd be popping. I have money, but I can't do that shit. I can't allow myself to be a fool. I can't do that shit, bro. I always have to speak up for my people. Because you have people that came 40s, 50s, 60s, the Harlem Renaissance. They spoke up for their people. So right now they trying to get rid of our history. So you think I'm gonna just get online doing skits? Shit crazy. Like how people act a fool. You're right, I'm there. That's why black people on YouTube be singing it. Yeah. That's why some of them gotta wear a MAGA hat to get some views. They just doing it for the money, bro. But slowly, I hope y'all see that it's turning on them. It's turning on them. Because you can't keep going against your heart forever. You can't keep going against it for money. Because at a certain point, money don't mean shit. What else can you buy? What else can you buy to cover up what's going on for real, for real? I'm just saying. If they allow anybody outside facts, that's a fact. Way too much serious shit going on to be goofing around. Hell yeah, man. Way too much. So hold on. Let's finish listening to it.
The inaction of Congress has put us in.
We're joined now by 21-year-old Brown University junior Mia Trenta. In 2019,
What's poppin'?
she was shot in the stomach during a school shooting in Saugus High School in Santa Clarita, California. Her best friend, Dominic Blackwell, was one of the 2 students who died in that attack.
Now think about this. When your boy Charlie Kirk was alive and popping, he was going to school, he was going to colleges, and he was talking about the black community. You got all these Caucasian kids going through school shootings their whole life. He never said shit about that. But he got time to talk about what's going on in Chicago. And we know why Chicago is the way it is. That's by design. After they murdered Fred Hampton, after they got rid of the Black Panther Party, that's when Chicago did what it did. That was all by design. That's why Chicago PD murdered Fred Hampton. You think they wanted the Black Panthers to be there and really be supporting their people? No, they need them out the way so they can cause hell on our people, so they can make money from our dysfunction. That's how it goes. That's why Chicago is the way it is. It's all by design, bro. Bro, it was like 5 years in a row. I think this was like back in 2012 to like 2017. They was closing down. If you from Chicago, tell me I'm lying. They was closing down public schools on purpose, bro. They was closing down schools on purpose, bro. Stealing the money. Instead of putting the money into the schools, the public schools, they were stealing the money so the school had to close down. And if I'm like I say, if I'm lying, if you from Chicago, tell me I'm lying. It was like from 2012 to like 2017. It was a crazy time. I remember that. Yes, closed down. Yeah, I remember that, bro. But they won't tell you that. They gonna tell you about the shootings in Chicago. Why are the shootings happening? Why? They ain't gonna tell you that part though. They ain't gonna tell you that they had a train coming in and dropping guns off in Chicago. And when they did the research, the US Army was behind that. They ain't gonna tell you all that shit. The shit get cold, bro. That's why when these raccoons start talking, they don't make sense to me, bro. Because they ain't gonna dive deeper into what's really going on. It's easy to attack our people. It's easy to attack our people. But who is dropping those guns off to young black men? When they did the research, it tied back to the US Army, bro. Go look that shit up. I'm not lying, bro. I remember all this shit. Before I got on YouTube, I remember all this stuff, dog. Good afternoon. What's popping? What's popping, Bill J? What's popping?
Mia has been an advocate to reduce gun violence ever since. She worked with Every Town for gun safety, later joined the Advisory Board of Students Demand Action. She's joining us now from Providence. Mia, our deepest condolences on what has happened to your community, the 2 dead students and the 9, most of whom are critically injured in the hospital. Can you talk about what took place at Brown?
Yeah, I mean, I thankfully was in my dorm at the time of the shooting. I was studying with a friend, but we got one text from another friend who wasn't there, basically saying there's an active shooter alarm going off in Barrison Holly, the engineering building. And pretty much as soon as we got that text, hundreds started rolling in. And they kind of didn't stop for the coming hours. I was there in my dorm from the time of the shooting, all throughout lockdown. The lockdown was lifted around 9 a.m. the next morning. And I mean, I was thankfully in my dorm where I had food and water and I had my own things, but I had friends who were in basements alone. I had friends all across campus in library hallways that they couldn't leave or stairwells. So it was just kind of a terrifying and confusing experience for everyone, especially when there was just kind of this lack of information. And when there's a lack of information, rumors start. And, you know, we felt a lot more security in our campus as soon as we found out that the shooter had been detained. But obviously that's not the case anymore. So now it's just kind of back to this state of...
You heard she said, right? She said the shooter was detained. You heard that, right?
Confusion and uncertainty Not sure if we're fully safe. Yeah, there's just so much going on, and especially with the lockdown lasting so many hours.
Mia, I just want to thank you for coming on this broadcast. I can't imagine what you are going through and how this has triggered what you have gone through in the past. And I hate to do this, but I wanted to ask you to, since you've been so eloquent and brave over these last few years, since you survived yet another mass shooting. This was when you were a freshman at Saugus High School in 2000.
Think about that, bro. She just said you survived another mass shooting, school shooting. Think about that. But they got time to talk about gang violence. They got time to talk about black on black crime. But these students, these Caucasian kids, going through school shootings like it's normal. They going through school shootings like that shit normal. But they got time to talk about us, what we doing. When their community, like he said, they collapsing. But they got time to discuss us when they falling apart. She's an actor. Hey, I can see that. Because if my friends got shot or unalive, I can't talk to nobody. I'm not trying to talk to nobody. What are you talking about? I can't talk to you 2 days later. I can't even talk. I don't want to talk. Let's find this shooter. Like, what are we talking about? Shit, crazy, man.
2019. If you can talk about how
Derek
you're
Fisher.
doing right now through this, I assume you are just operating on adrenaline at this point. I mean, you're still in Providence. Even though school, right, has been canceled now, all classes, all tests, kids are just going home.
Yeah, I came to Brown as someone who was shot in the stomach at 15 years old. And
What the fuck? Hey, I ain't know this shit. This crazy. Why Charlie Kirk never talked about this? Why the raccoons online never talk about this shit? She got shot in the stomach before. That's crazy. That's crazy.
when something as horrific and terrifying as a school shooting happens to you, you want to find as much sense of safety as possible.
And look, I ain't trying to be rude, but if I know wherever you go, school shootings happen, I gotta transfer, bro. I can't be around. I can't be around that energy. If wherever you go, school shootings happen, that's crazy. That's crazy. Who are you connected to? Who do you know? You gotta sit back and think about that shit. That's some deep shit, bro. For the people who've been to 3, 2, 3, 4 school shootings, you gotta wonder. You gotta wonder. That's all I'm gonna say. Because I don't wanna, put out no false information, all that type of shit. But you gotta wonder if whatever school you go to, school shootings keep happening and you keep surviving. Nah, cuz. That's crazy. This my first time hearing this shit too, so if you keep going to schools and school shootings keep happening, mm, that I'm gonna leave y'all with that. Y'all put two and two together.
For me, it was, my entire innocence, my childhood was taken from me by someone I didn't even know. And a big reason I chose Brown was because of the safety I felt on campus, the community I felt, the fact that Rhode Island is a blue state that, values gun laws. All
I told y'all. You see how I ain't gonna call it slow because she went through some shit. But you see how these people talk? You think a shooter gives a damn about what color? This not even a color. This the color in their head. This shit not even real. But they hold on. They want to tell you about gang violence. But who the people screaming, oh, we blue, they red? Who the real gang members? Who the real gang members? They telling you about gang members in LA, New York. But when you listen to these people talk, these politicians, mostly all Caucasian people, they always talking about, oh, we blue, they red. That's a gang. That's a gang. And Tupac said it best. It's an interview. He said, we learned the gang stuff from them. They was the ones hollering blue and red. We learned that to defend ourselves. Think about this shit, bruh. Who the real gang members? She screaming out colors in the interview. Talking about we a blue state. That's a gang. That mean you in a gang. This must be war. If I'm tripping, tell me I'm tripping. This is some gang activity. Listen. Linda, listen.
At this point, I mean, you're still in Providence. Even though school, right, has been canceled now, all classes, all tests, kids are just going home.
Yeah, I came to Brown as someone who was shot in the stomach at 15 years old. And when something as horrific and terrifying.
See, but now it's all making sense. You keep getting shot at, bruh. This some gang activity, bruh. Listen to what she say. Listen.
As a school shooting happens to you, you want to find as much sense of safety as possible. Because at least for me, it was, my entire innocence, my childhood was taken from me by someone I didn't even know. And a big reason I chose Brown was because of the safety I felt on campus, the community I felt, the fact that Rhode Island is a blue state that, values gun laws. All of these things are reasons I chose Brown. And there's this naive thought that it'll never be me, and something that I, of course, thought before my first shooting, and now kind of had to reassure myself that it will never happen again. But now, a shooting being right here, 2 blocks away at my school, within my community, this place that I've kind of come to feel safe.
Yeah, somebody said she an actor. Yeah, I'm kind of believing that too. But they tell you about the blue, red, the Bloods. They telling you they going to LA and arresting all gang members. They come to New York. I'm telling you, just type in gang member arrest, on YouTube, whatever. You go see them at 4 in the morning getting ready to go to the projects in New York and arrest gang members. And they record everything like it's some type of, I don't know, it's like they trolling, but it's like it's serious at the same time. But when it comes to them, they could be blue, red. You got dudes wearing the red MAGA hat. Bro, that's gang activity, dog. That's a gang. I don't care what you say. She said a blue state. What you mean blue state? Rhode Island? Where you see blue at? What are you talking about? This is man-made shit. This is gang activity. They must be at war. That's all I can think of. I don't know. Shit crazy, man.
It's kind of mind-boggling, and unfortunately, we know that every single act of gun violence is 100% preventable. And
What's popping? What's popping?
My shooting at Saugus High School happened because of decades and years of government inaction, and it's so unfortunate that so many people have to die.
See, you see what she going to. Somebody said she was an actor. Yes, I could tell she's an actor because she's turning this into some political shit. And said, "What's up, Red? What's popping?" But these new young Caucasian dudes, bro, they follow their own rules. They murder their own people. They murder their own people. But yet the raccoons only talk about black relationships, what goes on in the black household. But they'll never point out the black men that's getting their shit together, that's on their shit. They'll never talk about the black women. If they have kids, they still getting college degrees. So for your college degree to not even matter no more, they gotta tell you, oh yeah, that degree, that's not considered professional no more. Nursing is not a profession. You see the games they play with us, bro? As a group, as black Americans, man, every time, because no, look, no matter what, bro, they can throw slavery at us, they can throw crack at us, they can throw heroin, all that stuff. No matter what, we always find a way. And every time we start progressing, they try to knock us down. So during the Harlem Renaissance, when that was going on, they hated that shit. They hated to see black people coming from the South, coming to New York, going to Rhode Island, going to California, going to Minnesota, going to Chicago, and really thriving. So guess what? They had to murder all of our leaders. They had to fill our black community with crack, with heroin. They had to put guns on trains and drop them off in the hood. They did it, but you get on YouTube, you got these people, oh, black people ain't. I'm like, bro, no, call out the people that started this shit. Are you scared? Shit crazy, man. Shit crazy, dog.
For people to still not really care.
But she an actor. I'm done here talking. But yeah, man. Shout out to everybody who joined my live, man. This was a great live. I took a little break off YouTube, got my photography business running, but we back to the content, bro. Every day we back to the content. It's a lot of stuff I've been wanting to say, a lot of stories I've been wanting to touch, and we back to the content. I appreciate everybody for joining live, man. I heard about the shooting in Australia before. Damn. Oh yeah, I saw that one too. Brick Squad, Brick Squad. I saw that one too. I saw that one too. But I appreciate everybody joining the live, man. I really, really appreciate y'all. And there's a lot of shit we gotta talk about. Every day we dropping content. Whether it's a video or a live or both. Every day we dropping content because there's a lot of shit we gotta talk about. You're not gonna see me online doing skits. You're not gonna see me doing this dumbass comedy shit. There's some real shit going on. They trying to erase our history. Like we ain't do shit. They trying to take away our museum like we ain't do shit. And you think I'm gonna sit back and allow that shit? Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. So I appreciate everybody, man. I'm about to get to work. We got video dropping tomorrow. Shout out to y'all, man. And you got kids in college, man. Just keep your kids aware. Let them know what's going on in the real world. Let them know what's going on. Show them what's going on. Because a lot of shit is changing in the world. Don't just talk to them about, oh, you gotta become a doctor. Talk to them about what's really going on in the real world so they can't be shocked, so they can't be caught off guard because there's some real shit going on. So I'm out, man. I appreciate everybody. I'm out.